Hi everybody, here are your notes today on the distributive property. Remember, we have a quiz on Friday. This will be on your quiz. So make sure you're taking good notes and that you take your Khan Academy seriously tonight and ask me all kinds of questions tomorrow to help you prepare for that quiz. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is answer these questions, pause the video, and I want you to put some thoughtful answers to it. Okay, so why is it useful to show parentheses when substituting? Well, one of the things that you might say is to show multiplication. It might be to separate, numbers or values. And it might be to keep negative signs with the value. So an example of a problem that you might get wrong without showing parentheses could be like for 3x and x equals -2. If you don't write parentheses, you might write 3 minus 2. Wrong. When really it should be 3 times -2, right? Or again, with x equals -2, x squared, right? Without parentheses, that would say -2 squared, which is -4. Wrong. But with parentheses, it should be +4. So those parentheses make a difference. Why is it useful to use a chart when organizing your work, when combining like terms? Well, if you use a chart, it's easier to do mental math of the coefficients, right? Because then you're not making a mistake of combining too many things. It's also useful for keeping the signs with the terms. Right? I saw a few people made mistakes today involving signs, whether you forgot that something was negative or you added a negative when you knew the answer was positive, right? It helps you really separate that. So, example of a problem you might get wrong without using a chart. Well, let's say 2x squared plus 4x minus 5x squared minus 2x. Well, this is a lot easier if you have a chart with x squared and x, because you could put 2x squared, 4x, -5x squared, and -2x. It's a lot easier if you put it in a chart to see that you're not accidentally adding the x squared to the x's, and to make sure that you have all of the pieces, +2x. You've got all the signs together, and you've got the right signs for the end. Okay, just 2 slides left here today. So this one right here, distributive property. When we're distributing, we are multiplying. You're multiplying a number or value to each term in a group. Now, I always want you to use PEMDAS first, so I always want you to simplify first if you can. Here we can't because they're not like terms. So we're going to take this -5, and I want you to show this. -5 times 6x is -30x. -5 times -2. Do you see how I'm drawing the arrows as I'm doing it? I'm not just drawing the arrows to say I did it. -5 times -2 is +10. Done. Easy peasy. Okay, now this one's a little more complicated. When I write this multiplication out, I'm going to write everything next to each other. 6 times 2, x squared times x, y, and z. So I've put all of the like letters next to each other because we're multiplying. Now this is 12. X squared we know is x times x. I just broke that up. Times x, so that's x cubed, and then y, z. 6x squared y times -5y squared. Do you see how I circled both of those second terms? That sign makes a difference. 6 times -5 times x squared times y squared. And again, this is -30, the x squared, and this is y times y times y, so that's y cubed. So there's your final answer here. Right? And the sign here, we just use the negative sign, just use that to join it. Remember, negative also means minus. Do not write plus a negative. One more slide. Okay, when you're distributing within an equation, zoom in boxes are key. Zoom in boxes. The zoom in boxes start at the end of a parenthesis and go all the way until the first sign you see. Again, start at the end of a parenthesis, go all the way through to the first sign you see. This 7x is not a part of it, so it just comes down. 3x times 5x is positive 15. X times x is x squared. When you're multiplying, you change the exponents. Positive 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x. Oops. Now this is different here because this is a negative. Negative 2 times 6x is negative 12x. Negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14. Now we can put it together with our like terms. You could do it with a chart, or you could do it with just combining. There's not too much here to put together, so I'm just going to circle the like terms, which are all x's, including the signs. This 15x squared had nothing, so I'm just going to put it there. 7 minus 12 is negative 5. Minus 12 is negative 17x. And then we've got this positive 14. Boom. Final answer. Perfect. Okay, down here I'm going to use a different color. I see parentheses. Zoom in box ends at the end of the parenthesis and starts at the first sign you see. Okay, so this comes down. 3x. This is really a negative 1. You can write that negative 1 if you want. So this is saying the opposite of this whole expression. So negative 2x and negative 5 minus 8, which just simplifies to be x minus 13. And then we're done. Drawing those zoom in boxes is key. You have to do that if you want the right answer every single time. That's all. You have Khan Academies being posted as well, so get to that on the form for this chapter, Expressions and Functions. See you tomorrow.